go.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. 0 or 0 equals 0. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. 0 or 0 equals 0. If we ain't producing what we here for, it's power in numbers, numbers. Hey, hey, it's power in numbers, numbers. Hey, hey, it's power in numbers, numbers. Hey, hey, it's power in numbers. Proper presentation and organization, leave no room for complication. We embrace the confrontation, meditation as I live amongst this devastation. Riding the red line, Chicago state of mind. Here, rapper is the code, it's in his own mind. Player text and MP3s, iPhones, plugged in headphones. You're individual, leave you alone. Clone my ancestors, channel Marcus Garvey. Create me an army, march through Riverdale, posting Harvey. It's power in numbers, let no infiltrators among us. Moving these streets with the tactics it brung us on that diesel off that rock. Expose the weasel on the block. Sell the whole squad out to the cookie crooked cops. Look rookie bet like a bookie, it never stops. Surveilling alien, prevent the pyramid from prevailing. Combining our resources, keep us growing, sustaining. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. 0 of 0 equals 0.
Yo. Welcome to the Grown Man Podcast. Each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Man D, along with my co-host, DJ The One.
What's up, everyone?
And my man, DJ Rue on the technical.
What up?
We appreciate y'all tuning in to us tonight. We like to thank y'all. Facebook, Twitter, IG, everybody welcome. You know what I'm saying? You can like, share, comment, subscribe. Get it in where we talk about everything. There's no topic that's off limits to us.
No filter.
Also, we got a special guest tonight. My man bringing that millennial perspective. My man B-U-O-D. I'm sorry, B-U-O-D.
It's B-U-O-D.
Wait, well, hold on. I want to get you right.
Ready?
My man B-U-O-D, up and coming artist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all that, you know.
So we appreciate y'all being in here with us, man, and tune in tonight. We're going to be discussing some real topics as usual. Our topic tonight, though, is who are we? Who are we? So we know it's going to be a lot of people that tune in and have something to say about that. It's good if you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? We'll get more in depth as we go along. But again, you know how we start this show off talking about all the situations that's happened throughout the week. You know, so we'll kick it off with a mask mandate.
Yeah. Boy. He gonna start it off just like that. Look at him. Just look.
Hey, we got to go with that because the mask mandate. So you telling me, I was just having a discussion with this gentleman, this young man, he about 71. He telling me, we in public. But you in a public place, you got to have on a mask. I said, man, really? Does it make sense you walking down the street with this mask on? Well, I might walk by Jim Billy and he cough. And then I'm man, come on, really? We outside, brother. You already breathing in whatever chemicals that's out here. You know what I'm saying? The emissions from the fuel of a car, everything.
You are not afraid, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, come on, man. Get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ourselves together and think logically. A lot of us are not thinking logically about this whole thing. So even going back to jab or not to jab, last week's subject, like, it's your choice what you want to do. But if they telling you as a grown person, you better put this on. I'll tell you, I come to your house, I call you and I say, Rue, you better wear that shirt, man, I gave you the other day. Even though you bought it, you better wear it. You gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's why we disagree.
See? But see, it's the same premise.
But we agree to disagree.
It's the same premise, though.
We're gonna always disagree.
Why your freedom got to be my freedom?
What?
Oh, Lord, here we go.
That's something else.
Here we go.
You done went on. My freedom got to be your. Well, then your freedom is limited and mine is unlimited.
I am Joy Behar. Okay, and
You Joy, you thick too.
I ain't this. I'm the skinniest on the face. I
You
am
mo-
Joy. So we
Hey,
gonna go.
you more like
Let's stay on subject,
no,
man.
wait,
Like
no,
you
you
told
said you
me.
Joy Behar. Hey, this opening the show. We ain't going to the topic yet. I'm just basically talking about
Yeah, I
this
agree.
mask mandate thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
let's let them know
So,
where to call in at too. You know.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
you can handle that,
Yeah,
bro.
That call in.
Yeah, we got to call in number 708-996-7939. 708-996-7939.
No, that's too many numbers, ain't it?
Yeah, well, call on in. We want to hear.
Kendall Jenner got you. Kendall Jenner got you confused.
Oh
over here.
my God! I done
Skinny.
got
Hey,
something
you say you
started
skinny.
here.
You say you skinny, so you built like Kendall Jenner.
I can't say that.
No, is it Barbara Walters?
Oh my God! I take Barbara Walters before
Yeah, we
I
know.
take that.
Yeah, we know, Barbara.
Barbara
I
Walters
think
she got
Barbara
more
was
meat on.
gangster.
She got
She
more
was
meat.
gangster.
She got more meat on her than Kendall Jenner.
She'll
though.
slap you too. I believe Barbara Walters at the age she at right now, she'll slap you. So I take Barbara.
I bet if they tell her to put a mask on, she gonna put it on too.
Yeah, I agree.
And she ain't gonna ask me no question like, your freedom is different from my freedom.
With them church stockings on. You know she ran them church stockings.
She don't go to
The
church.
one that's brown as heck.
She go to the synagogue.
Hey,
She
boy.
Jewish. She
Look,
Jewish. She goes to the synagogue. She
right,
doesn't go
and
to
we joking.
we still going to the church.
I'm going to the church, man.
I know you are. That's what I'm saying.
See, look, everybody trying to get somebody to change their mind.
No, sir. Just broaden your horizons. That's it.
That's what's up. And that's why this show is going to be so open. We got B.U. Odie, the younger version in life. We got my man, DJ The One, and my man, Madman D and me. And now y'all about to hear different versions of Black men's lives and the patterns we walk and where we at. And that's why I love this show, and that's why I'm with it, because we got to stay together. If we did, what's the old term, one?
Old term towards what?
As far as divided.
Divided we stand.
Divided we stand. Yeah,
No.
but
United we stand.
Yeah,
Divided we fall.
yeah, true on all that.
So let's
If you don't
get
stand
that.
for something, you'll fall for nothing.
Indeed. So stand and quit putting. I see you don't got your mask on, so you standing for something right now. All right,
Ain't nothing wrong with having a mask on, though, man.
here you go.
I
man.
respect that. Like,
Here you go.
if
Go
it's
on
gonna
to-
stop spreading something, then yeah, we
Man,
need to
stop.
have a mask.
Hey,
on.
y'all better quit believing what they say and do some research. All right. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. We ain't gonna get into that. Tonight we talking about who are we? Who are we?
So what do you mean in that terms? Who are we as far as what?
You know what? B.U. Odie asked me a question before we went live tonight. And he was like, what do you fill out on the application? So on that application,
Ooh,
there is a column that says white, black, African American, Hispanic origin,
and other.
Indian origin, Alaskan, and other.
And
So
I'm
we
gonna-
were speaking about that. So that's where we at in terms of who are we.
Okay, let me start it out. This question came up many moons ago, and between me and my wife. You know what she told me? She put down other, and she's black. She put down other because she doesn't want to be labeled as a black person. She won't be labeled as a person, so she put down other. I had to sit there and listen to about 35 minutes of her explaining me her explanation of other. What do you feel you should be, or what are you, Odie?
I feel like I am black. Like, I wouldn't say African American, but I would say black. You feel me? But I probably would put others because I don't like how they trying to label us something that we not. Because the reason why I asked him that question was because I was thinking, like, what if we go to Africa and they ask us, like, what is we, where we from? And we say African American, and they tell us, no, you're not. Like, Not from Africa.
Actually, we're not. A lot of us were
Saying.
born here.
Exactly.
You know, they say everybody that's black came from Africa. No, a lot of us were born in the United States, and a lot of us have a lot of Indian blood in us.
What is an Indian?
Well, you know,
Let me-
Native American.
Let me expound on what both of you all said, because even though sometimes I might use the term black, but black is a color in a crayon box.
Right.
Black is this shirt and this hat you have on. That's a color in a crayon box. So if you look at your skin complexion, you look like that t-shirt.
No.
One, you look like that t-shirt.
No.
So here we have situations to where, as we'll say, black, white, Mexican. How illogical does that sound? That really sounds very illogical, because you'll say two colors and then you'll say a national, black, white, Mexican. Because Mexicans can subscribe to their country, Mexico. You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've been bamboozled to a point that we'll accept these terms, because that term African American came up in the late 80s, I think. And I think like Jesse Jackson came up with that term to describe a people who have been indigenous to this place, who doesn't have an identity, because ultimately, as a whole, we don't have an identity.
I totally agree on that. We don't have an identity as far as black people. We trying to find who we are, and it's not all in the books. But I do know to be aware is to be alive, and I said that there. Everybody finding a way to get the knowledge. So you know what I'm saying? Like Odie, he get his knowledge from a certain place. One, and you too as well, and me too as well. So I believe that knowledge is power.
Of course it is. Always been that way.
All three people sitting at that table got power in a certain way.
Hey, we all have power as individuals, but collectively we have more power. So that's where we all have to come together and be respectful of everybody's views and what they can bring to the table, which allows us to grow, because everybody has a perspective. Now, also, there's a such thing as an opinion. Sometimes opinions can't be validated, but ultimately, us with a different perspective of different things, that means that there's more viewpoints that could be added to something. So, when it comes to nationality, um, race, we've been bamboozled to a degree. And I want to read some about the word nationality. Nationality is a legal identification of a person in international law, establishing the person as a subject, as a national of a sovereign state. It affords the state jurisdiction over the person and affords the person the protection of the state against other states. So that's kind of like the meaning of nationality.
To me, can I say this? What you just spoke about, um, as far as the terminology, it speaks volumes as far as the knowledge. Um, we have other people out here throwing word salad out. What I mean by word salad, they'll use big words and they trying to prove a point. But if you understand the words that these people are speaking about, to me it's word salad. Now what you saying is solid. Now I ain't trying to get off subject. We on subject. The whole purpose of what I'm saying is get your knowledge from a solid place. Man D reading from a solid place. Don't get your knowledge from Facebook. Just don't do it. If you do, can I say this? Just go kill yourself. I ain't cursing up. Just go kill yourself, because you're not getting the truth.
Please don't kill yourself.
Yeah, we gonna say that, but that's a terminology that we use within the black neighborhood within Chicago.
Those words come from Rue and Rue only.
Yeah,
Everybody at this table, do not condemn or
no,
kill yourself.
They
Please
don't.
love yourself and don't kill yourself. Please,
Don't do
please
that.
love
Don't do
yourself.
that.
Don't commit suicide.
Don't
we
do
don't
not walk out
we
in
don't
traffic.
believe like Kylie Jenner does. Okay.
Please do not walk out in
traffic.
Please don't kill yourself. Love yourself to the brother.
Hey, I'm gonna say this on this level because people getting their information from the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Man, share some of the places where you get your solid information from as far as what you quoting on this show.
Man, you got to hit the library, man. That's a place that we don't even patronize anymore, and it's free. You know what I'm saying? We don't go to the library anymore. We don't utilize that. Everything really, we in the information age, so everything is at the touch of a finger. You know, but how credible is that information that we get from these phones or computers? We can't really distinguish. I mean, there's been things that's been written way back, and people kind of dialogue or put that particular thing in a book to share with others. So we have to sometimes use those conventional methods. Technology is a gift and a curse. Sometimes we rely on this. Of course, you can see a lot of young people, their eyes go bad basically off staring at these screens. You know, you kind of get information different when you read it. That's just my experience with reading and my assessment.
I must admit, I was watching the news the other day. Now I'm gonna say this with the news. The news sometimes is incredible. Okay. But they were speaking on how is it that a corporate person, say if you are a CEO or you're a person that works in a cubicle and you study looking at a computer, they say that's bad for your eyes. This is what the eye doctor says. So when you speak about that, yeah, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you. Uh,
Somebody,
BU,
somebody on my live said, um,
go ahead, BU.
we got they called us black trying to be funny, and we turned around and made it, we turned around and empowered it, like, you know what I mean?
BU expound. Hey, matter of fact, share your live with my live, but I really BU speak because I'm gonna say this. This is why this gentleman's voice is very important to me because he's speaking from a younger level as far as what's going on right now. So BU, speak, man. You got the stage, my brother.
Hey, bro, go ahead, do what you do.
I ain't got too much to say, man. Just love yourself, man. That's all it's about, man. Loving yourself, having self-respect,
But see,
just
this
being 100 with yourself, man. If you feel like you black or brown or white, it don't matter. Just love yourself, Be respectful to yourself and honor others, Just be 100.
this is where I disagree with you at. Everything else you said about having respect and doing that, that's a great thing. We need that. But at the same time, if you don't know where you been, how do you know where you're going? So we got to look back at the past, man, to find out who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you can't really move forward. You think you're a crayon color, man. Black is a color in a crayon box. So let's do more to understand or overstand who we really are. Because now, if you can overstand that you really are where you out, well, we have gentlemen out here, ladies, bringing harm to another human. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll appreciate that life even more if you kind of can relate to who you are and where you've come from. If you have no connection with nothing, you're really kind of careless, you know?
I hear you though.
So, I mean, again, it's all perspective or opinion as well. But at the same time, we got to learn. We got to start educating ourselves because that's what we haven't been doing.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. DJ One, what you doing, man? What you
Reading
got
my
going?
comments on Facebook, and I'm trying to figure out who one of these gentlemen is. This Brandon. His name is Brandon, and the comment that he's making doesn't make common sense. But I'm not gonna read it because it's not of the same back mode.
Was it some?
Why not read this? Let's give him a
Yeah.
opportunity.
Give him the stage. Give it to him. Give him the stage, man.
Okay, well that's a part of his ignorance,
That's irrelevant.
and ignorance meaning not knowing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So he maybe he has no understanding of that,
Right.
and that's why he's tuning in so he can get some clear understanding.
As
You know.
far as what's going
So
on,
we appreciate you, brother. We ain't gonna say your name, but we appreciate you, brother, even tuning in and comment. We on knowing yourself, because when you can know yourself, then you can better yourself. It starts with one, and then it trickles on to another.
Yeah. Go tell your friends. Go tell your friends. Go watch the live too. Tell them to tune in too.
Hey, One, I need you to chime in because you've been too quiet. And whoever got
Ah.
you on that phone, we need our big brother in the building. Yeah, see, One get mad about this stuff, and y'all don't understand. Look, all us, y'all see three people, it's a fourth person. We family. We take stuff personal, and we will answer your questions. So don't be so scared and don't hide who you are. Go ahead,
Hey.
One.
Whose phone is that,
We
Frank?
gonna keep moving along.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we're gonna keep moving
we're-
along because that comment is not worth it right now. Yo, what's up, Dean? Funky Fresh? Hey, glad to see you on board, man. Keep it tuned in right here, Grown Man Podcast. Hey, who we are is determined on what we feel on the inside. It's not based upon, but like my man Odie said, it's not based. To me, it's not based upon skin color. Because if you say you're other, you're other. If you say you're black, you're black. But actually, you're not black. You're Creole. You're brown.
Right, Brown.
Okay. You're not black like the hat or the shirt. You know, I got on gray, charcoal gray. They could be considered a different tone of black, but it's up to you as a person. And you know, you got to pick how you want to live your life. What are you and what are I'm gonna give you an example. All right. I'm gonna put this to Odie. Odie, you and your on your block and you back up to someone and you bump them real hard and hit their fender, put a dent in it. But no, nobody, you don't think nobody saw you. Didn't nobody see you? Okay. What's your reaction to after you get out of the car and see you didn't do no damage to your car, but you did damage to the car you backed into?
Like, I would, if the person not around or if I can't get in contact with the person, I probably would try to leave my information or something, help them out. Because, you know, in a situation like that, if my car is not messed up, then I probably won't feel no type of way. I wouldn't get me wrong, but I feel some type of way because I am a sensitive person and I do care about others, you know, and I want to see other people be successful and do good in life and don't be brought down. Because little stuff like that, you never know. Like, somebody could be down to their last and you mess up their car like that and they got to go spend their last couple hundred just to get their car work because that's probably what they use to get their income, you know. Like, I probably would think about something like that, but I would try to leave my information or something and just, you know, help out or whatever
Okay.
the case may be.
I'm gonna pass this buck over to my man D. What do you feel about that?
I think that's admirable, bro. I'm not gonna. I can't dispute it. I mean, that's admirable, especially again if you dealing with someone that looks like you. So, and it doesn't even matter about that. It just matters about the character that you possess, and that says a lot about your character. So,
Yeah, that's
I
what I wanted to
mean-
hear. I mean, because what I'm trying to say is the question you're asking is not really about the color of your skin.
it's always about the color of our skin.
Yeah,
bro.
well, in many aspects it could be, but really it's about what's on the inside, beyond past that skin. Who are you? Who
Well-
are you to you?
Well,
Black man, white man, other, African, Indian,
Human.
human? What are you?
well.
First of
see,
all, you got to be real to you for everybody else to figure out that you are who you say or present yourself to be in their presence.
Well, regardless, this is again, I'll go back to what you just said. Of course, it's about who you feel you are before it can spread out to anybody else. But if I call you blue and I say, dude, you blue, all right, are you gonna subscribe to being blue? No, you're not. Because that's not who you are. That's not who you've been, what's been embedded in your mind and your psyche to accept. So you'll accept something just because somebody said something. Again, we were brought up on different foods that weren't good for us. At the same time, we still eating it, and you know it's toxic. So, at what point do you adjust your thinking? Because that's what this is about. You're gonna sit up and tell your children when you have them, "Are you black?" And that's a color in the crayon box.
Right, that's the problem.
Like, come on, man. At some point, that has to end.
It's been
Know who
accepted
you
for
are.
so long.
That's what I'm saying. We accept garbage. So now you accept this garbage and you look at yourself in the manner in which you're degraded. You're not elevated.
Dude, that is
You're not
so true.
elevated to a certain level because again, if you're thinking of yourself as a king and you knew your ancestors were kings and queens, would you not present yourself in a different way?
May I say this? I'm gonna say this. If you think of yourself as a king, you're gonna handle yourself as a king. And what you're saying is totally right, man. If you think of yourself as a king, you think of yourself as a queen, you have to handle yourself as a king and a queen. Kings and queens act a certain way. It's not belligerent. And I'm gonna sit that there and sip my tea or coffee, whatever they call it.
Hey, I appreciate that, Rue, because that's real talk. I mean, ultimately, we just been dealing with whatever we're dealing with. We're just accepting of so much. And the only way to elevate yourself is to get that knowledge, get knowledge of self. So if I got you thinking, you came over here on a boat, how do you connect to being indigenous? You can't connect to that because you believe in what you've been told from somebody else, which is a fairy tale.
Now I'm gonna say this, man, D, break down the word indigenous and the way you putting it together as far as all of us together. You feel me? Because a lot of people don't get an understanding. Now I know that you got a full understanding. Man, break it down.
Indigenous, meaning people who were born to that land. All right, who were born in this land, weren't brought here, have certain customs and cultures that's in that particular land. That's their birthplace. So we're indigenous to this place.
It's like land and ancestors. We were here before anybody else brought anybody of our color over here. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you get the story of Christopher Columbus, who came over with the Pilgrims and killed the so-called Indians. The so-called
History.
Indians were our ancestors, and Indian is really like considered a derogatory term.
Indians.
So I'll say indigenous people
Yeah.
because again, this was our land. We were here. So if you want to say Native American, this place wasn't always considered America. They considered it several other names. One of them being Turtle Island. You know, and if you can see, we're in four corners of the earth, man. We're everywhere, but they'll make you believe it's something different, and they'll put this tag on you that you're a minority. So these things that's been told us that we just take in and ingest.
We are a minority.
A lot of this stuff is untrue. And
Yeah.
because we don't do research and we
Yep.
don't find our way through the matrix, because we living in the matrix, we don't find ourselves or ways through the matrix, then we continue on garbage and perpetuate garbage.
Can I say this, man, D? Because I know you speaking facts.
Go ahead, bro.
When you say we the minority, break it. Please look. we are the minority in the United States.
I don't
not
subscribe to
across
that.
the world.
I don't subscribe to
Break
that.
that down, man.
I,
And
I,
be you and the one I want y'all to chime in because he hitting, boy.
from
if
my
he ain't-
research, we are not the minority. From my research that I've done, we are not the minority. We are majority people. All right. Fast approaching are Hispanics, but we're not the minority. Now we might be a minority as far as financially, but we are the majority in numbers and in population. Um, there's so many things that's been told to us that we just continue to pretty much subscribe to. We subscribe to so much nonsense. You got to take your power back. And I'm not trying to be divisive with my words or whatever, but just got to learn who you are, man. I mean, we got years of research that I've been putting in with myself just to learn who I am, because like so much I've been told that didn't just seem logical to me. So I had to go search for myself and find out. And maybe that's everybody's personal journey, but I'm still here to be able to share what I've learned. Now, if you receive it, you receive it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to argue that with anyone. It's all, it's a personal choice to take in the information, assess it, go find out for yourself, and then come back. Or if you don't come back, hey, it's your choice. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where I'm at with it, because I got to teach my children who they are, and who their ancestors are.
So who are we? Who are we?
We're great people. We're great people. And
I feel like it's safe to say we whoever we want to be. Like
you can be.
we if you want to be,
who you want to be.
yeah, exactly. Like you can be that.
Can I say this?
Can
feel
you
like-
say? Let me. I
Donald
don't mean to
Trump-
cut you off. Can you say you Mexican?
No.
Well, you can't. Well, that contradicts the statement you just
No,
made.
You can't.
That contradicts the
But
statement
who
you
says
made.
A Mexican is a Mexican.
Man,
Mexican?
hey,
A Mexican
no,
from
agree with
Mexico.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
One, expound. I see that. You see that finger? Yeah, look on camera. When old folks do that, this right here, oh, it's thinking time right here. Just
You
expound.
are exactly what you put out. If you say, you play. If you play, you are what you play. If you play towards being evil and mean, that's what you are. If you play towards kindness, that's what you are. If you believe in your heart there's a God and the God is what you put there, that's your heart. So you are what you believe. I can't say what you are. You can't say what I am. You have no right. I have no right. Like I say, we started this show with opinions. Opinions matter. Doesn't make me right, doesn't make me wrong. But we go off of too much of ancestry. It's a shirt that a friend of mine printed up. And you know how we all live on history. But this shirt says, I am Black history. He's talking about right now. See, we're building history right now that we got to teach our kids. Oh, yeah, it's good for them to know all the past stuff. But they got to know the stuff right now. Right now, that's happening right now. Okay? So what are they? You're teaching them to come up to be what type of a person?
But yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like it's really what was brought to us, what was persuaded to us. Like we got. That's why I say I am Black, because this is what we was taught. Like we got Black History Month, we got Black Power. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, it always got Black in it. Like,
No, but look, can I
So-
say this, Odie?
So
Y'all
is
know
we
what
not
y'all-
supposed to be a part of the movement, or we supposed to be a part
No,
of the
hey,
movement?
Odie, and I don't disagree because I'm just now coming in on the conversation. But we used to get taught Black history in grammar school.
Even then, Black history, like
What
everything is
happened to
got the
that?
black in
I'm
it. Like,
baffled off
we
of
not
that.
supposed to be a part of the
They
movement, or
don't
is we
teach. They
is?
don't teach Black history anymore
Yeah,
because
whatever.
they don't want us to
They
know
want us to-
exactly. Because let me tell you something. Today's kids have a lot more anger than the people who went through it. Okay, they can't handle the strife and the heck that they went through. Our ancestors went through.
I feel
Today.
like we should change it to brown. We don't want to be black. We want to be brown. I feel like we should change that. We should make like some type of movement towards that. Like,
when you say brown, elaborate, break it
because
down.
that is the color of our skin. Like you said, we not the
No, when
color
you
of this
say
shirt.
brown, you talking about Indonesians, Puerto Ricans.
We not
So
the
when
color
you
of
say
this
that,
shirt, so we ain't
that's a
black.
broad statement. I mean, man, interject.
I'm gonna say this to Juan's point. He said teach them about now. And yeah, you could teach them a lot about now. I totally agree. But again, I'm gonna reiterate. If you don't know where you've been, how can you know where you're going? There's no way to exist on this plane and not do that. Okay. Now we'll sit up, you'll say you're a Christian. Not knocking nobody's thing. This is just an analogy. You'll say you're a Christian, but you're gonna read a book that was created 2,000, 4,000 something years before and rewritten by another man. Okay. But you'll say that this stuff right now is more important. But then you subscribe to that. That's a total contradiction. Now, if you don't use your past, how can you find out that I'm going to the right instead of the left? You have to use your past, man. You have to know my people and my ancestors did this. Even with your grandmother, grandfather, we're going to go to current times. Your mother, your father, if you had one. They did this way. They prepared meals this way. You're going to emulate that. You may add a little bit of what you learned today. That's a different seasoning that won't have this type of thing that's harmful to you in it. But at the same time, you're going to use those same old tactics.
I understood, but you went right around what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is teach them now. When a child comes in or comes in this world, he knows nothing. He barely knows his family. Now I'm gonna say this in an analogy. We used to have, or some of us still do, have family reunions. Some people don't. Some people don't even know they're next of kin and they're living right around the corner from them. Okay, yes, it's right to teach them where we came from. But first, you got to teach them where we at right now and who's all who in the family in order to go back and teach them things from the past so they can really get the analogy of what they're meant to be, of who they are. But we don't do that. We barely have family reunions. I mean, if one black family in Chicago would have a family reunion every year just amongst the people in this city, man, they might come out having about 500 people at that family reunion.
I will say this one. My grandmother,
I agree.
she used to
I agree
always
with
say
you.
that.
We've lost our way, man.
We've lost our
we've
way.
lost our way, and it's based on who are we? Think about it. You, in order to get to the determination of who are we, you, like you said, you got to find out who are you.
Right.
So if you find out who are you, then me and you can come together collectively. Me, you, be you, you know what I'm saying? Be you and Ru, and we could say this is who we are.
Right.
But ultimately, it starts with self.
Right. Everything starts with self, but you still got to teach now before you can step back and teach them the old ways or what we came from, Martin Luther King era and all that back in the day, you know, slave trading and all that. Yeah, we all came from that. But the problem we have right now is we say Black Lives Matter, but do they really matter to Black people?
Of course not. And that's why
That's
it's like it
another
is, because we saying Black Lives Matter. What is
You
Black
just started
Black Lives?
some
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
come on, man.
Cause why? Cause that's another thing I just was thinking about too. Like when it's black on black killings, we ain't marching for that. But when it's a police officer killing a black person, we want to march for it and ride. Like where's the self-respect? Like we gotta love each other, love our
I
brother, love our
totally
sister.
agree.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we got a lot of people out here that are using that as a scapegoat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
bottom line is, If we just came together and had a family reunion in Chicago amongst your last name, or my last name, I guarantee you, out of that group, you're gonna look and say, "Man, I tried to talk to her. I tried to. Oh, were you my cousin? Who? By who?" Y'all gonna be walking around with your head scratching your head, like, "Hold on." And I've ran into that. I'm somewhere and I'm running into a family member that I didn't even know was a family member until I got to where the funeral.
Well,
And that's the only time we gather together too is when it's a funeral. You see everybody come out then.
So we go bring you together.
So
whether
we
you
gotta
like it
we
or
gotta
not.
start using those elements then. I mean, it just doesn't, because look, I feel like you my family.
Me,
You know what I'm
could
saying?
be cousins, distant cousins. We don't know that.
Hey, be you.
See,
Hey,
but
he family.
right, but see,
You know what I'm saying? Root family.
what did
And
the
that and there's a direct connection.
okay?
At the same time, and I don't mean to cut you off, bro. At the same time, I got to resolve that within myself in order to get with you, or you.
Mhm.
It has to be resolved within self. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. But back in the day, a person that brought family together and taught family to pass and what was now was called a matriarch. Everybody had one person in their family that maybe they didn't like, but they brought everybody together. His mom is, and sometimes it's a big mama.
Yeah, the elder, your
It
elder.
was
in
one of the
family.
elders.
Yeah.
And when they passed away, didn't nobody step up and want to take those
Right. It
shoes.
started separating.
They
Everybody
separate-
started
and-
dividing.
then-
Everybody want coming together like
No.
usual.
No, and then everybody started having little babies. And you don't even know the babies because the babies don't know the babies. Okay? Don't nobody know each other anymore.
What about the patriarch? You said the matriarch.
Right.
What about the
I
patriarch?
had to say amen to that. I'm sorry.
You know, what about the patriarch?
It's in the same boat. They
Is
both
it?
kept the family together.
Is
They
it?
made the family come together. If it wasn't, I'm gonna give you an example. Now, I've been married twice in my life. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. My first marriage, her family met every first Sunday of the month. The young folks went to one house together. The old folks went to another house and they gathered together. They did this religiously every Sunday for 12 Sundays out of a year, the first Sunday of the month. How many families can you say to meet up every month and hang with each other?
Not these days, not too many. I can attest to that, because again, you know, there's so many
My
differences.
family don't do it.
It's so many differences in our families now. You know, it's attitude. There's so many things that allow us not to get together. But again, that's why our topic is what it is tonight. Who are we? Because the only way we can get to who are we is, again, is self-assessment.
Right. We gotta build ourselves up. Now just imagine if your family was 100-fold here in Chicago, and that's a city within a city that you can build on to build a business.
I'm gonna go even deeper. One, you have a Chevy, nice looking van. BU Odie, you got a BMW, nice looking little car. Man D, you got a Benz, nice little car. I got a Jeep, nice little car. But why we can't come together? I think that the materialistic things that we encounter sever us. Once again, I think the materialistic things that we value, they sever us.
Well, let me expound on that, because you know, I'd rather you. I don't want nobody to know what I'm driving.
I don't want
I'm joking.
nobody to know what I'm driving.
No, I can't tell. You just said that
but
shit.
don't
But I'm
nobody-
gonna say this. You know what? I purchased my vehicle because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted for myself. And before I purchased that particular vehicle, I had a keychain a year and a half.
We
Wait, let
talked
me
about
finish.
that.
Let me finish.
Ooh.
A year and a half before I even purchased the vehicle. That was something I wanted for myself. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It didn't have nothing to do with showing off to nobody or making myself look prestigious. I feel prestigious within me. You see what I'm saying? So that was my purpose of doing that. That made me proud of my accomplishment
Push you.
to have that.
That-
Not even thinking about, oh man, they gonna look at me like this, or I don't care about that because I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do things to make other people assess who I am because I got to look in the mirror every day and see who I am for
Can you
myself.
break that down in layman's term? Am I correct? What make me happy don't make you happy.
Pretty much. So I mean, yeah, I celebrate any brother that's doing well.
Hey, this
Those
brother,
particular vehicles you called out, they all operate the same. It's just a name and an emblem
Hey.
on them. They all, as long as I can get point A to point from point A to point B, I'm good. That's all that really matters, man.
look,
So when you go into a preference of it, then that's your personal thing.
hey, I'm gonna say this, man, D. He walks in every Thursday with his bag. I love to see him with that bag. You know why? Because I gave him that
See,
bag.
here you go. We are you
Hey.
going off subject, bro.
No, because you my brother, and I
Forever.
feel as if when you pull that bag out, you represent me. And when I'm doing my thing, as far as the DJing thing, I feel as if I represent you. And I
appreciate that.
love to do that.
I appreciate it.
Barbara Walters, can we get back to the story?
Yeah.
Let's I'm gonna
I'm
read
the
a comment.
redhead. I'm the redhead.
V
nigga.
says readers are leaders. This is what V posted.
Break
in the
it
comments.
down, man.
Readers are leaders.
Break it down.
Now I
man.
want to read something from Wikipedia. It says black people. All right. Please listen, y'all. Black people is a racialized classification of people, usually a political and skin color based category for specific populations with a mid to dark brown complexion. Not all people considered black have dark skin. In certain countries, often in socially based systems of racial classification in the Western world, the term black is used to describe persons who are perceived as dark skinned compared to other populations. It is mostly used for people of sub Saharan African descent and the indigenous peoples of Oceania. Indigenous African societies do not use the term black as a racial identity outside of influences brought by the Western cultures. The term black may or may not be capitalized. The AP style book changed its guide to capitalize the B in black in 2020. The ASA style guide says that the B should not be capitalized. Different societies apply different criteria regarding who is classified black, and these social constructs have changed over time. In a number of countries, societal variables affect classifications as much as skin color, and the social criteria for blackness vary. In the United Kingdom, black was historically equivalent with person of color, a general term for non-European peoples. In other regions, such as Australia, settlers applied the term black, or it was used by local populations with different histories and ancestral backgrounds. Some perceive black as a derogatory, outdated, reductive, or otherwise unrepresentative label, and as a result, neither use nor define it, especially in African countries with little to no history of colonial racial segregation. Some have commented that labeling people black is erroneous, as the people described as black actually have brown skin. That's from Wikipedia. So you got people around this hemisphere that look at black as a derogatory term.
Can I say this? One name. You said the CV taking a jab. Rupert Murdoch. last time I'm gonna say this on this show. How is it a person from another country can run a news network that's being shown in our country? I'm gonna sit that there. Elaborate.
Let's get to that on the next show.
Elaborate, Mel.
Let's get that on the next show.
Elaborate, man.
I can't even speak to that right now, bro. My mind. ain't
Look,
even-
every
my
day
mind
you
not
wake
working
up,
to that.
every day you wake up, you got two choices. You can go back to sleep and dream, or you can get up and go catch that dream.
So why you knocking? Because he's from another nationality, another origin of this world, and he's here making more money than you. Because guess what? Most of us are walking around with our hands in our back pocket. We don't want to put them in front of us to feel our way. We don't even want to see our way because we'd rather stay in that bed grabbing that pillow every morning and go, oh, hell, do I got to get out?
Well,
Yeah, I do. But that man's doing what he do. I commend him because I'm going to tell you something. You got Hispanics, you got people from overseas being brought here, given Visa cards, able to make money, open grocery stores, and we black people came to come together to get in a park together to keep somebody from shoot each other.
Can I say this?
Wow.
You talking to the wrong person with that one. We
Wow.
finna get into it. Look, we have
Wow.
the same eligibilities, the same avenue that they walk.
Wow.
We have that as American citizens. Don't get mad because they come up and they take advantage of the stuff that we don't take advantage of.
I'm glad
Hey.
for him.
Look, can I say this again?
Everybody talking about foreigners coming over here doing this. We have that. Look, we can do this as American citizens, and we don't have to answer to nobody. People get so mad when people come from another country and take advantage of the things that we have as necessities, and we don't take advantage of it.
That's why I
agree.
just
I agree
said.
totally, bro.
That's what I just said.
Don't get mad.
That's what I
Every
just
day
said.
you wake up, I would say me. Every day I wake up, I have two choices. I can turn over and go back to sleep and dream about the dream, or I can get up and go chase that
and
dream.
make it happen.
And
I
that's what
agree.
I'm talking about.
That's why-
Don't knock the man that came over here and
I
did
ain't
it.
talking about you when I say that.
But let's
So
say
when I
this.
say, don't make it seem like a lot of people not aware.
Let's
hey,
say this though.
I'm gonna say this: 5%.
And
Who is 5%?
in the Constitution of the United States of America, as a black man, you are considered 3/5 of a human being.
Say it one more time. Speak one more
In
time.
the United States Constitution of America, you are considered 3/5
who
of
is-
a human being.
Who does that?
I'm gonna take it back to what
Refer
you just
to
said. You are
Black
considered.
man.
Who's considering me to be that? Because I don't consider myself to be that,
You don't have to. That's their
and I'm
law.
never gonna do that.
That's their law.
That's what pissed
So
me
now,
off.
the only way you can enter back into
It ain't
slavery
you one or him.
from the
They
Constitution
do look at us
is to
like we
commit
not
a
equal.
crime.
Like motherfuckers do look at us like we not
Shit.
equal.
Oh, we can't curse, but stuff done got real. It done got real in this joint.
But we know who we are.
Yeah. Acknowledge who you are and don't be afraid the person who you are. We are strong black men. I'm going to sit that there
See what
and
he
drink
said?
my coffee.
But don't let nobody else tell you who you are. Learn who you are. Learn who you are so you can pass it down to your offspring, and they'll have some type of edification in their lives to know.
Did you hear the brother? He breaking it down.
Let them know so they can say, I can compete because I don't have anything that's less than my counterpart.
Totally.
I'm comprised of greatness. So if I'm comprised of this greatness that I came from, and this is my lineage, because trust me, we the only people who don't even care about our lineage. Look at Jewish people. They know their lineage.
Yeah.
They'll tell you everything about the Holocaust,
Yeah.
right?
They know what's going on.
What we know, all you know is they said we came over here on a slave ship. They said. At what point do you understand? Because those people are thriving. They got so many advantages, even being in this country themselves, because they know where they came from and they know who they are.
Can I say this? They derive from foolishness.
So when this man can speak on the person he spoke on, then there you have it.
Yeah. Now look, y'all see B.U.O.D. getting up out of the seat, pants hanging off his tail.
Come on, bro.
Don't get mad
Come on, bro.
because he got his pants hanging off his tail.
Come on, bro.
That
bro,
don't mean
what
he
does
ain't
that-
got the knowledge.
What does that have to do with this
It
show,
has
bro?
to do with nothing. Look, people think
Hey, bro.
they see these young people with their pants hanging off their tail and they don't have the knowledge. No, they do have the knowledge.
Hey, bro.
And guess what? They using it more stronger than we are.
I disagree. Because you know what? You ain't got too much knowledge if you have your pants hanging off your tail. If you wearing your pants down to the back of your knee, come on, man. That's crazy. That's something that we shouldn't even brought up at this time, but I understand where you're at. It's
Basically,
cool.
what he's trying to say, you got to respect
Ah,
yourself
cool.
to get respect.
It's cool, you know.
But I understand what you're trying to say, Rue. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Indeed.
But guess what? That's normally how it's done. The covers get judged first.
Indeed.
Don't nobody turn the cover back to see the first page,
Right.
or read the back page, or read the middle page. It don't
Hey,
start.
look,
They don't start
If you
at
got
one-on-one.
dreads and you going on a job interview, you immediately just out. You can't make it. Now, one, I ain't saying you saying nothing wrong. Please elaborate more and break it down because you more intricate with this stuff.
Our problem as black men is we don't have the control no more like we should in raising our kids. Okay? We need to raise our kids so our kids can understand where they came from. But first of all, they got to know where they're at now. Okay? We got to know, they got to know family. And that's the one thing I think is going on. Yeah, they know the people within that wall, them 4 walls of that house they were born in. Do they know the family, the whole family? And we in Chicago very rarely have that. And some families now don't knock me. They come together. But we need to come together as a whole. Because when we start marrying into other families, now we done joined and made this not just one family, say the Washingtons, say the Griffins, say the Smiths, say the Coopers, different names. Now they become a one whole hut. And we don't know each other because we don't come together like we should. If we did do this, I don't think there would be black on black killing.
Big bro, you said one key word, hut. Niggas don't even
Hold
know
on, man.
what.
Hold on.
Oh,
man. Hold on.
I ain't gonna say.
Hey,
Negro.
bro,
Some-
look, let's do this here. I mean, we all got a perspective, right? We all got a perspective. Everybody got to respect each other's perspective and opinions. Let's stay in the confines of where we at. I get what you
Okay,
saying. I get
what
what you saying. We
Okay,
appreciate.
what I'm
We
saying
appreciate
is,
BU for being here. You know what I'm saying? BU Odie.
but I want
At the
to
same-
break down the word hut.
Hey, I think that speaks for itself.
I think you should break down the word hut.
I can't.
Reason being,
I
because
can't.
we was a hut on
A hut is a
Laughlin'.
community of people that come together to have one voice, to
Indeed.
do one
We
thing.
was a hut on Laughlin'.
Well, you know,
Look, yeah,
I'm gonna say this, man. Again, I just got to reiterate, like, man, we got to get to know ourselves.
yes,
If you
sir.
got to know yourself and self-assess and do certain things that's gonna allow you to be in a place where we can come together as a collective. Because you and one can't come together to do what you do if he doesn't self-assess and you don't self-assess and you all share
Yeah.
a common interest. You can't come together if y'all don't do that.
You
So
said the
what
key
we have
word,
to go through,
self-assess.
we self-assess. That's the only way we're gonna be able to come together.
That
to
means
say
you got to
who
give
we
to
are,
get.
who we are. Period. You know.
I'm gonna stick with that.
So let's say,
boy, you don't, man. That word, in the way you used it in the terminology, self-assess. We gotta atone for each other's actions, but as to as well, self-assess each other. Like,
you can't. There's no way for us to
man, you ain't never
self-assess-
got mad at something that
self-assess
you
each
did.
other. that you can't self-assess each
I
other.
put it in the wrong terminology. Self-assess ourselves.
Indeed. That's the only way we could come as a collective.
You were speaking about the jab, right? The reason why you don't have issues with the jab because you take care of yourself.
Well, see,
Yeah.
here we not gonna talk. That was last week's topic.
No, but what I'm
We're not
saying,
gonna talk about that
but look,
because
what
you
I'm
don't know if I took the jab or if I
No, I'm
haven't
not
taken the
talking
jab.
about that stuff. You know,
But
But
that can be interpreted.
you self-assessed yourself, and you knew and you know how to take care of yourself. So eat these vegetables, drink this water. Now I'm not getting sick. Remember last week when I said there's one person that's immune to this whole jab, virus, whatever they call it. Bro, you might be that Negro.
You know what? I think, in my estimation and my
You
knowledge of
too
how
healthy.
we work and how things work with us, we're all immune.
Tell them about the story on
Because-
New Year's Eve.
Let's go back. We're black.
Tell them about the
You see my air quotes? We're black.
Can I say
But
this?
because again, we've been manipulated by this thing that you spoke of, that young gentleman created earlier, then they can continue to tell us and give us all this information,
Yeah,
which we don't research. We'll just go back with what they say, and that's what it is. But we're gonna shut the show down. But before we leave, I want to read this comment by V. She said, "Is it that we are not marching, or is it not televised like the other marches because media picks and chooses what they want to show us?"
I agree.
Totally. If you don't agree, something wrong
I
with you.
think the media gives a picture
Totally.
before we receive it, and it's a bunch of BS.
And we don't internalize it. We just take what's on top. Okay. We don't go back and do our own research. We just run in fear.
listen
They
to
said
what
this.
they say.
They said this. This is what's happening. I'm just gonna go with the narrative. You don't go back and research nothing about yourself. You don't go research nothing about your people. You don't go get no resilience to anything. We'll go to a doctor, right? And this is a little bit off topic. We'll go to a doctor. Do you know in a doctor's office, there's no chart for a Black or African American? You're being compared to a European. So when they say body mass intake, your body mass intake is compared to a European. There is no chart for no Black person.
Body mass intake. Body mass intake with Black people and Europeans is totally different. Europeans can sit in the sun and the sun will burn them. Black people can sit in the sun and we don't get burnt. We don't have to have other things. Whereas to the point, we have to rub it on our skin.
It's called a
and
God gene.
It's not that. It's the truth is the truth, and it is what it is. And that's my belief.
Melon.
Melanin. Yep.
Odie, what you might.
Hey, we gonna close the show out. We gonna close the show out. You know, we appreciate y'all tuning in to us. We thank y'all for tuning in to the Grown Man Podcast. We want to thank our special guest, B.U. Odie, for coming through. We appreciate you. Go check him out on what's your tags, bro? Check him out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, I ain't
Facebook.
looking at these colors.
We gon' ask y'all to continue to tune in to us each and every Thursday on the Grown Man Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to my man DJ One. Reading his magazine right now.
Lord,
We appreciate DJ Roof for making all this possible. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all, man. Have a good night. Peace.
It's the family.
Boy, you see the blue, red, black, and black.
I see y'all.
Cut that live
It's all right. You in control of this shit. man.
Cut that live off. Cut Cut that live off, man. Cut that live. Cut your live off.